Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the pound-for-pound best radio show around the world, it's Leave It in the Ring.
Right now with his wife, but hey, if anybody right now who I'm surprised that doesn't have a rap album out yet, because the dude is gifted like Bernard Hopkins when it comes to the gap, is Paulie the Magic Man Malignaggi. Yo, Paulie, you on the line, brother?
Hey man, what's up? How's it going?
Good, man. So hey, I'm surfing through the web, and I come across the Twitter. I see you and Amir Khan, man, going back and forth. What's cracking about that? What's happening there? Is there going to be a fight between both of you guys? Is he going to take the next step and stepping in the ring with you?
Yeah. I think I'm just waiting for the offer from HBO and Golden Boys. I think it's going to be a go, man. Barring anything crazy happening, I think you're going to see me and Amir Khan fighting on May 15th.
Is that a guy right now, really honestly, do you think that he's going to, because a lot of people always say, Amir don't want to fight this dude, he don't want to fight that guy. There was some talk about him stepping in with Madonna. I mean, really, Paulie, a lot of people underrate your skills of boxing. They still judge you off of the hand fight. Some fight fans are saying, like, okay, you beat Juan Diaz, he was a shot fighter. But, man, I think I've always thought you were the truth.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I kind of just take it fight by fight, man. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, people are going to criticize. People are going to say what they want to do. I think I've done more than enough to warrant this fight. People say Khan is ducking Madonna and fighting me, but when you really look at it in perspective, I'm a former world champion. Madonna ain't never won the title. Yeah, he's a dangerous puncher, but he can't fight worth shit. So, what does it boil down to? Yeah, some people might think, yeah, he's taking less of a chance fighting me. But in the end, I believe Amir Khan beats Marco Madonna. Marco Madonna can punch, and that's all he can do. He can't fight. You know what I mean? So I think somebody can probably outbox Madonna. But having said that, I pose a different kind of problem. Or maybe they think that it's probably better to go after me for now because I'm not the puncher Madonna is, but bring a different set of skills, I bring a different set of problems to the table. I guess it depends on basically pick your poison, I think they made the wrong choice, because I believe Khan would have beat Madonna, but he's not going to beat me.
I think
you got to keep in mind, the public and the media, a lot of times are very ignorant, and I don't want to call them stupid, but they're basically all stupid. Anytime somebody can punch, it's like they forget about all the other flaws because the guy can punch, Marcos Madonna is a solid fighter. He hits very hard, but he seems like he does anyway, But he's lacking in a lot of other departments, and I think people forget about a championship caliber fighter needs to have a lot of different weapons. Yeah, maybe a lot of times the punch is definitely one of them. It's nice to have one, but if you don't have anything to back yourself up with besides knowing how to punch, like actually knowing how to fight, for example, which Madonna really can't do, you're going to be in some problems when you're in there with a good fighter, Victor Ortiz was young. He was maybe he wasn't, he didn't want to dig deep that night, I think Ortiz is a solid fighter, but, that remains to be seen whether Ortiz will be the kind of fighter that digs deep. On that night, he didn't dig deep. But I think if you look at the fight and you watch it, he was exposing Madonna for what he's lacking. If Ortiz chose to dig deep that night, he probably beats Madonna because he was his punches were shorter, his punches were crisper, his punches were tighter, and he was getting to Madonna when he needed to. He just didn't have the wherewithal within himself to get through the pressure Madonna was bringing. Having said that, on a world-class level, somebody like Madonna will get beat. He lost to Andres Kotelnik. Khan beat Kotelnik every round. Yeah, now you never want to say this guy beat that guy, so this guy should beat this guy, because it's all BS at the end of the day. But really, how many fights on a world-class level has Madonna had? Yeah, he's got almost all knockout wins except one. But who has he knocked out? Okay, he knocked out Ortiz. He was an unproven prospect. The rest of the guys, you never even heard of these guys, man. Who was Madonna knocked out? And the other time he stepped up, he lost to Andreas Kotelnik. And I thought he lost the fight. Everybody seems like, oh, it was a German. I saw the fight, man. I had the pay-per-view that time, man, because I think the main event was some Ruslan Shagayev fight or something from Germany, and they had an opportunity to order it here on pay-per-view in the U.S., and I watched it, and I watched that fight. I didn't think he won that fight. I thought it was close, but I thought Kotelnik beat him. Guys like me get credit last. The punches, they get credit first. But at the end of the day, you have to have an entire package. Yeah, if you can box, you also have to have a good chin. You have to have a lot of other things, too. And just being a good boxer is not enough. Just like not being a big puncher is not enough. But I don't think people understand that. And no matter how much boxing these idiots watch, they'll never get it. And so you'll continue to see the next guy, after Marco Madonna, that comes around that can punch. he'll be crowned the champion too before he even gets the title. You know, it's just every generation people seem to do that. They just never learn.
Well, you know what, man? We had I had a chance to talk to Timothy Bradley, and immediately after Edwin Valerio called him out, he spoke about it, but he also mentioned your name. He said he'd love to get in the ring with you. What do you think about that fight?
I think it's a solid fight, man. I think Tim Bradley has earned the respect of the boxing community. I think he's earned it through hard work and dedication. He's beaten a lot of good fighters, and he's beaten a lot of them looking good at that, you know, and I've said that before. I think Tim is a solid fighter. I know him since the amateurs, man. But as far as me and Tim is concerned, at the moment, I've just gotten better offers financially to fight other guys. It hasn't been because I don't want to fight Tim Bradley, you know. If Tim Bradley had, if the offer to fight Tim Bradley was the highest financial offer, I would have definitely loved to get it on with Tim Bradley. And you never know, maybe in the future that happens, you know.
But if you want to call in at 347-215-7598, one of the flashiest guys in boxing right now, a guy that does bring some major skills to the table. I'm going to pass it really quick to Strike Cart. You got any questions for Paulie, brother?
Yes, I sure do. All right, Paulie, good to talk to you again, man. First question for you. What exactly was the big holdup between you and Amir Khan in the first place? I know there was a lot of talk around the fight, and it seemed like you guys just couldn't come to an agreement.
Yeah. I think basically we just didn't want to go into a fight with you. We were the opponent again. I dealt with that with Golden Boy Promotions last year with the Juan Diaz fight, and you know, right before Amir signed with Golden Boy, my team had been discussing with Frank Warren a fight with Amir, and it seemed like all systems were go, and it seemed like everything was gonna, you know, take place, and we had a lot of verbal commitments and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, he signed with Golden Boy Promotions, and all of a sudden, I almost felt like the rug was pulled out from under me in a lot of ways, because a lot of the things that were promised before, all of a sudden, weren't being promised anymore. And you know, it just stagnated out. It stalled out. Obviously, Golden Boy had a lot of other options besides me for Amir to fight. And you know, they said, all right, you know what? It's not going to be our way. We'll just take it somewhere else. You know. And they did, you know, and they tried to make a fight with Marquez or whatnot, and, you know, at the end, I was going to end up fighting Andre Berto, but again, you know, it looked like me and Berto was going to get it on, but then at the last minute, I was hearing that, you know, it was going to go from the Garden to Miami, and I'm not going to somebody's hometown and fight them there no more. You know, I think I went through that last year, and that was a one-and-done situation for me. So once I didn't feel comfortable going to Miami to fight Berto, and Amir and Juan Marquez's fight wasn't going through as well, we kind of just started talking again. And what do you know, it looks like this time it's a go. You know, I don't think Amir understood the whole part of the business as far as that is concerned. I think Amir, at his age, don't get me wrong, at his age I was also just as ignorant as he is. When somebody don't want to fight you, think when somebody doesn't fight you, it's because they don't want to fight you. This is a businessman, you know what I mean? And it just wasn't making business sense the first time around. It's making a little more sense now. Luckily, for both of us, the other fights fell through, so we can get it on with each other, and I think this time it's going to get done.
Here, I want to see if I could get you in a little trouble, and I'm just being funny here, but you've obviously had your comments about Pacquiao, and we don't really need to get into that. That's old news at this point. But Alex Ariza is the strength and conditioning coach for Amir Khan as well, and out of his own mouth, he says that all the guys he works with take the same stuff. Which would lead me to assume that Amir Khan is taking whatever Pacquiao's taking. Do you have any comment or thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm one step ahead of you, man. It's something that's crossed my mind, man. I got to be honest with you. You know, I got a strength coach as well, and we don't have any. You know, Michael Camp is my strength coach. He's worked with a lot of athletes as well here in New York, but we don't have any secret potions or secret mixes that we take or anything like that, like Alex Ariza claims to. He doesn't give his guys drugs. He just gives his guys the secret shakes and shit. We don't have anything secretive. You know what I mean? We do a workout. You know, I go and buy supplements, and you know, we just do the same thing. There's nothing secretive about what I'm doing. You know what I mean? But yet, you know, somebody like Ariza, you know, in order to take the blame off everybody else, and they make it like they have a secret concoction and it's a concoction or whatever. You know what, man? It's so deep into it that I don't even care to get into it anymore.
Yeah,
man.
but Paul,
on that point about Khan and Ariza, yeah, it did cross my mind. I would be lying to you if I said I didn't think about it. Yes, I did think about that.
Yeah, but okay. I mean, look, on that note, real quick, Paulie. I mean, all right, so secret. I mean, honestly, when you're training for a fight and you're training for a particular fighter and everything, do you let everybody into your camp and watch you sparring and see what you're doing so they can go back and relay what you're doing?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So,
but I think
it's kept a secret, though, right? I mean, so that's kept a secret. So if Alex Ariza is saying I have a certain shake or whatever, couldn't that mean, look, I'm not going to tell you what I put in this stuff, because if I did, then obviously anybody can come and take my position.
Yeah. Of course. Or you could just keep your mouth shut and just say we just do workouts. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
for me, it's honestly the truth. Like, I don't have any secret shakes. I just go and do my workouts. You know what I'm saying? And I try to eat healthy and be healthy and live healthy. You know what I mean? But having said, I mean, listen, there's a million kinds of controversial stories you can make out of this situation, and I think I've spoken my piece about it, and it is what it is. I think the biggest key here is I think a friend of mine told me earlier this week. You know what makes you really think that everybody's guilty in this situation? It's when somebody takes a simple question and instead of answering with a simple yes or no, they give you complicated answers.